Hi, my name is Ojas Anilmai. I am 22 years old. I was supposed to graduate from college with my environmental engineering degree in this month itself. But due to this COVID 19 pandemic, it has been extended a bit. So, for more days of my college, I had a strong spark and flamboyance towards this vast, vivid, and fascinating concept of microplastics, which eventually turned out to be my research topic over the years. Due to lack of research, the lower limit of microplastics is yet unknown. Identification of microplastic is considered as a problem which stems from the fact that it can be difficult to pinpoint the exact source of microplastic because of its fragmented nature, small size, and variety of sources. Hence, microplastics are classified into two types: primary microplastics and secondary microplastics. Primary microplastics are manufactured as microbeads, microfibers, and pellets, and secondary microplastics are results of weathering of larger plastic debris when exposed to sun. Although there are no concrete evidences of harmful effects of microplastics on human body, but the fact can't be overlooked that microplastics are detected in the drinking water. However, there is no legislative limit for microplastic content in drinking water. My project aimed at identification and removal of microplastics from water sources in Kolhapur region. Instead of picking samples from water sources in Kolhapur region, I focused on collecting samples from water and wastewater treatment plants in Kolhapur region. So I fixed 5 water and wastewater treatment plants in Kolhapur region as my sampling locations. They were as Balinga water treatment plant, Bavda wastewater treatment plant, Kalamba Lake water treatment plant, Nagdewadi water treatment plant and Puikhadi water treatment plant. Parallelly, I tested different brands of cosmetic products, tea bags, and variety of effluent samples from washing machine for identification of primary microplastics. I was working on granulated activated charcoal bed as a low-cost removal technique which could filter out microplastics. Plastic pollution has become a global crisis. We all are aware about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which approximately covers an area of 1.6 million square kilometers, an area twice the size of Texas and 3 times the size of France. Also, the fact can't be ignored that the developed countries top the charts for the biggest exporters of plastic waste in the world. Coming to Indian scenario, our country produces 26,000 tons of plastic waste each day, out of which 40% is left uncollected, 43% is used for packaging, and sadly, most of it is single-use plastic. So, considering this alarming condition, I started to work on plastic pollution. So, I was curious to know the count of microplastics as I was aware about these huge figures for plastic pollution. So I digged into literature to find the count of microplastics, but sadly I couldn't. Also, I was curious to know the harmful effects of microplastics on human body, riverine and marine ecosystem. Again, I referred literature, and this time the results were shocking. The literature stated that there were worst effects of microplastics on marine ecosystem. Also, it stated that microplastics were detected in the snowy regions of Arctic and Antarctic. So I thought, these small tiny pieces of plastics which were ignored or unnoticed till date are creating a problem, and hence I thought of contributing my bit to solve this problem. Most authentic procedure for identification of microplastics was invented by NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. In my case, I followed the same, starting with the sampling technique. So I simply continued with grab sampling. The sample was wet sieved, the mass of solids was determined, wet peroxide oxidation was done, and the sample was kept for density separation. After density separation, the presence of microplastics is confirmed in the sample. To understand the characteristics of microplastics, one needs to go for FTIR and microscopic examination. Microplastics were successfully identified in the samples taken from the water treatment plants and the wastewater treatment plants in the Kolhapur region. It means we need to upgrade our system to curb the flow of microplastics in the riverine ecosystem. Also, microplastics were successfully identified in the various cosmetic brands, tea bag brands, and also the samples from washing machine effluent. It means that microbeads should be banned using in cosmetic brands. One should stick to non-synthetic clothes to reduce the number of microfibers coming out from washing machine samples, and there should be an alternative to tea bags. I was working on low cost removal technique for microplastics using granulated activated charcoal bed, which was successfully tested but it is still under research. In this lockdown period, I am trying to study the aftermaths of biomedical waste generation due to COVID-19. I am also trying to create awareness amongst people for segregation of household biomedical waste. So I am reading the recent research papers on microplastics and other things which will keep me updated regarding the same. There should be some awareness campaigns which will help youth understand the upcoming challenges in the environment. And I'm happy to see that Avis Foundation has taken this initiative and successfully working on it. Also, I would like to tell microplastics is just one of the unexplored challenges environment is going to face, but surely there are more. You should be updated about it and they should try to contribute their bit to solve this challenge. Practicing sustainable development is my vision for our environment. Our environment has always expected sustainable development from our side, but we have not done it up to the mark. Sustainable development will start only if we adapt sustainable lifestyle. And to do this, we need support from all the sectors. Thanks for inviting me on this platform. This will surely help create awareness regarding microplastics.